Hi, it's Tish with Soulspirational. I hope you're doing well. Thanks for being here. Hey, I want to take a few minutes to talk about cord cutting. It's a term that I heard decades ago, and I've worked with cord cutting and I've gained a larger perspective of it, and I wanted to share it with you. So first, for those that are unfamiliar, what are cords? Why would we cut them? So for some, it may be that it's a past partner. And even though they're not with them anymore, they keep feeling drawn to them, they keep thinking about them, whatever it may be, and they just want to release them. It may be a release of the toxicity from that unpleasant relationship. So it could also be, for a family member or whomever it happens to be. And so this term, cutting the cord, to release oneself from this unhealthy or from this person. And for whatever reason, it may be that they weren't even unhealthy. It's just that the relationship ended, but you just keep thinking about this person. You just want to release their energy from you. So, and people will some are very ritualistic about it. Some will call in Archangel Michael. Some will light their candles. It's very intentional, maybe intention statements that we're using to cut whatever that cord is from said person. Well, here's what I've come to find out. When I first started, I felt a little suspicious, a little skeptical about it. And just like with what I'm saying, if it doesn't feel right for you, then disregard it. And let me also state that I am not a mental health professional. I am a spiritualist, so I'm speaking from a spiritual sense in this video. If anything doesn't feel right, then please don't follow. But with that said, so it's these cords that we want to release the energy from this person or people or whatever it happens to be. So what I have come to find out throughout my experiences is that cords that contain learning lessons, maybe some healing, you may think that you've cut them, but boop, it's like they just bounce right back again. And here's how you know. If you've gone through the process of cutting a cord, but yet you are still in the energy of how you were before you cut the cord, then it may be that you haven't released things because there is something there for you to learn or to heal from. So if this is you, just take the time and think about what is the grander scheme? What is it that I can learn from that relationship? And when we start asking the questions, because you may have already processed the relationship out, but if the remnants are still there, that tells me that there may be something underlying there. If your soul is still holding the energy of that relationship, then maybe it really wasn't released, or maybe you cut the cord, but you're still holding it in the soul, which is kind of another situation here. But okay, so here's the thing. When we are attached to somebody through emotion, and I want to talk about when it's an unhealthy situation or one that we deem to be it's an unhealthy situation, we can still again go in to find out whatever that the healing is needed or whatever the learning lesson is. But we can also tap into, let's say that you have, like in my case, a parent that is deceased and there is unfinished business, so to speak. This happened to me. My mom passed almost 20 years ago. Leading up to her death, I was in counseling. I wanted to be able to confront her about things from my childhood. Only as I'm in the state where it's like, okay, I'm ready to have this conversation with her, she got sick. And I chose in those moments, or at that time at the end of her life, not to bring this up to her. And I don't judge anybody who chooses to do so. It just, I held back. So I felt like, oh, I'm finally ready. And then, so what I've come to realize is that the person doesn't have to be alive in order for us to still find healing and those lessons from the relationship. So using my mom as an example. Um, it's like I have this cord connected with her because I still love her. She's my mom, right? So, there's that cord of love, but it's like there's this other cord of that unfinished business, the things that I wanted to say to her that I wasn't able to say while she was still earthbound. And so for those that don't know, I am a medium as well as a Reiki practitioner and teacher, because I think we're all mediums. So what I have found is I bring my mother forward in the times where memory comes up, where I feel like healing needs to be had. And it's interesting because, to be honest with you, had I have brought this up to my mom 20 years ago, when I was going to, 21, whatever it was, I don't know that she was in an open state to really hear what I had to say. So I'm not sure how that conversation would have gone anyway. But I can say that in spirit, because she's no longer here, because she is passed, in spirit, she sees things, has a different perspective of how she was and how things were when she was alive. And what I've come to find out is that even our past loved ones, they want to help us heal. So not only do I have this cord of love for my mother, I see it as a separate cord of the healing that needs to be done that's also attached to her. So when I am feeling that emotion for my mom, whether it's in a positive or a not so positive way, my mother's soul or her spirit is feeling it. Now, I don't want you to feel bad like, oh, what have I been doing to my loved one's soul when I think about them. They are not here. They understand that we are angry at them, or that even though we are angry at them, we still love them, or whatever it happens to be. They're not reacting or responding from a place that they would have if they were still here on Earth. I hope I'm making sense with that. Because they have a different perspective. It's not like they're going to be resentful towards us. I haven't encountered that yet. Every experience that I have had, whether it's personal, like for my own healing, or for a client, they want to help their loved ones heal. They heal simultaneously, which is the beautiful part of this. As we heal, so do they, because it's a connection. There's that flow of energy, right? So if an unpleasant memory comes up and I'm feeling that angst towards my mother, for example, her soul is feeling it. So as we work together to heal, it automatically helps to lift, to lighten, to heal her soul as well. It's like it's been presented to me from spirit as though it's like part of their atonement process, so to speak. It's a way for them to help make amends from what they couldn't or didn't see here, that they can appreciate better from where they are now. So they want to help us. There are things that I've said to my mother in spirit that I never would have said to her in life, but I just needed to be authentic with my emotions and get certain things out. And then it allows this space for cleansing and for healing, and to get along better. I get along more with my mother in spirit than I did when she was alive. So, yeah, it's just kind of amazing. So just know that when we are talking about cutting cords, that they want to help us heal as much as we want to heal. So if and only if it feels right for you, you can call upon their spirit. Again, all of us have the ability to do that. Even if you don't see or hear anything, you can try it. Just call the person forward and say, you know what? I want to heal this because I still feel this connection to you in an unhealthy way. And I want to heal, so help me heal this. And you may find, if not immediate, it may be later that night, it could be in your dreams or in the subsequent days where something just kind of drops down out of the blue. And it helps to bring you some clarity and some insight for your own healing journey. It's just such, I can't even stress how much it has helped me. Now, here's the cool thing, is we can also do the same with those who are still living. So even though we don't want to see the person anymore, there's somebody of our past, maybe we've even just shared how we felt about them years ago, but yet there's still this connection that we feel. So what you can do is go in and tap in and ask if just kind of get a read of that energy. Ask your spirit, yourself, what do I need to do to heal this? Because if I'm feeling it, it's about me. Now, let me just pause there for a moment, because as we are connected with the other person from our past, there are times in which they too are thinking about us. They may be doing their own healing when it comes to us from our end of things, where they felt like maybe they were hurt or betrayed or abandoned or whatever the energy may have been. So sometimes we're feeling that because, again, we're still connected. So there's this reverberation, if you will, of their energy towards us. So what you can do if you want to heal with somebody who is still alive, you can just go into light meditation, at least a couple of deep, slow breaths to still and quiet the body and the mind. And then just ask for the energy, the higher self, the soul, the spirit, however you want to word it, of that person to step forward. And energy is energy. We can be in more places than one, spiritually, energetically, than we can physically. So you're not going to hurt them by having part of their spirit come forward or their soul to come forward to speak with you. And then you can get it off your chest. And it's funny, right? Get it off your chest, because oftentimes when we have words that are left unspoken, we may be clenching our jaws, the throat may be tight, the chest may be heavy, because it's just like this buildup, right? Like, because we can't speak it, we can't vent it, we're not getting it out, and it's closed up here. So we can call them in and get it off one's chest. Share with them how you feel. Now, it doesn't mean that it's going to trickle down to their conscious self today. It may, and you may not even ever know it. But it may not, because the person still has free will, and whether or not they're open to learning, to pick up what their experience was with their soul, is entirely up to them. But this is about you. It's about you and your energy, your healing process, your learning lessons. So to go in, to have the conversation, and to release it. There are some times when I'm doing this, I'm also journaling simultaneously. So I'm speaking my mind, but I'm also keeping track of how my body is feeling. Where am I feeling the energy of this? And if you feel as though you've healed something, but you're still holding it into your soul, you can do what I call a soul cleanse. And it's real, to me, it's simple and easy. And I think it's something that we can all do. You just close your eyes, take a couple deep breaths, again, just still and quiet the body and the mind, and just mentally scan your body with the intention, where am I holding on to the energy of this person? And scan your whole body. You may feel it one or two places, but don't stop there. Finish scanning your body. There's a reason why you are feeling it in the parts of your body that you are. And I go much more in depth in session, but at the very least, what one can do, let's say you're feeling it in the chest. And even after you got it off your chest, you spoke what you wanted to say to that person's spirit. If it's still feeling heavy, you can imagine just breathing into that heaviness, get up underneath of it, and just pull it up, and use your breath to just push it out. Pull it up, use your breath, push it out. Just keep in mind, if you're doing a lot of the heavy breathing, the breathing exercises, be careful when you stand up, because you may be lightheaded, so use caution. But otherwise, you can help to release that from those different body parts. Here's the thing too, when I feel as though going through the cords that healing has been done between myself and this other person, now when I go in to cut the cord, which usually what I do is I don't cut it, I see on my body where I am attached to that person, because that's really telling too. So I find where it's attached on my body. I see where it's attached on the other person, or I may be told where it's attached, and I see that connection. But then when I'm ready, I grab hold lovingly of that cord, and I let them know I lovingly release you. And then as I remove the cord, and I release, and I just watch that person go. Now that said, I know there have been times where someone may think, like with my mom, she's of spirit, that if I lovingly release her, that means that she's gone for good and I can't get her back. No, that's not the case. It just means like I'm done with this session and I'm lovingly releasing you. Or I've healed this and I'm releasing this cord that is attached to us. Like, I want to hold on to the love cord. That feels really, really good. Where I can still feel my mom's love and I can send love her way. But as long as the healing continues, there's going to be this other cord that I'm attached to with her. And it's interesting because sometimes I see it in different places on me, in different places on her, depending on what the memory is that comes up. But again, that may be a little too deep for some, and I totally get it. The crux of this, and I'm going to go and close this down, is that if you find that you're cutting cords, but the energy is still there, please just go in, ask your higher self, what is it that I'm supposed to learn from this? Show me, so I can lovingly release this energy and get back to you. So, all right. Thanks for listening. I hope all this made sense. If you have any questions, please feel free to let me know. Otherwise, until next time, thank you, be well, and namaste.